So let's get the damn thing done, man.
Let's. Jasmine, what do you think is the most important thing for people to know about getting the damn thing done?
For me, it's like get in action. Like that for me, that's what it is. In every situation, once you get in action, then things start moving. It's as simple as that to me.
I find a grace in action these days. So a lot of the people that I talk to are waiting for something. A lot of times they're waiting to feel something that they might call clarity, something that they might call readiness, something that they might call confidence. And I don't feel it yet. Something that they might call inspiration. I don't feel inspired yet. And so they wait and they sit and they get inspired, but then they have something else to do and then they don't do anything. What I have found that's amazing is that I don't have to wait to feel anything. I can just begin. I can just take an action, a good enough for now action, whatever action I know that can move me in the direction of what I want, a small one, preferably. And what happens is something meets me there. Clarity meets me there at some point. Inspiration meets me there. Perhaps confidence, but I don't even care about confidence. Like, just do the freaking thing, right? It meets me in action. I don't have to wait for it before. And I think most people don't know that. So when we set up a situation where we kind of make action inevitable, those other things become inevitable too.
What do I see often? The people that I talk to. You were saying that they're waiting for clarity and they're not inspired or things like that. And then in my experience, a lot of people already know what they want to do. Then they talk themselves out of it. They find a good reason why they shouldn't be doing it. And that basically just covers up that inspiration, covers up that spark, covers up that, and just puts this wet blanket on their joy of, oh, what if we did that? What if I did this? Like, I can see the spark show up when somebody says, what if? And then they go and they dream, they're dreaming and they're seeing it. And then all of a sudden they're seeing also this how or why. What is this person going to say? What, like they see a bunch of stuff. And the more that they see, the more that they dim the light, dim the spark, dim it, just goes away. And through conversations, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It just happens. I'm like, no, that's fine. Don't worry about that one. Like, it's kind of like we just pushed them out, right? And then all of a sudden it comes back. And then we get into the one step. And that action for now, I like that you said the action for now. What is now? What are we doing now? I have somebody preparing an event right now, and it's this weekend. So it's like, it's freaking overwhelming. Like there's so many things that now that it's this weekend, I should have thought of this and I should have thought of that. And I should have thought, yeah, all of those show up, right? And then it's kind of like, okay, so I'm not saying they're not important. If you want to remember them, take a note, put it on the paper, forget it. Forget it, we'll come back later. Now come back to what are you going to do now? And what about now? And what about now? And having the conversation with this person, I could see how all of a sudden it was no longer heavy, how there was like, oh, well, now I could do this. And now it's amazing how all of a sudden, like inspiration comes, but what about, oh, I could do that. Wait, I can do this. Like all of a sudden there's new paths that show up. And it's really cool to see.
What I'm hearing and what you're saying, Jasmine, is that Inspiration is our natural state. Creativity, that kind of impulse to move, is our natural state. And so as soon as you get into action and out of thinking, it's going to happen at some point. If it doesn't, it's because you're still in your thinking while you're acting, right? But it has to. So that's the thing that I've learned to depend on. Like, it meets me there because it's already here. So my experience is that, oh, I don't have it. But what do I have instead? I don't feel like it. This is not inspiring. I don't want to write today. I don't want to do this. And just do it anyway.
Nobody's gonna like this.
Yeah, exactly. And then I begin.
And it's that voice too, right?
Yes. Yes. It's very whiny. It's bossy. Yes.
And it's true. I really see it I see how, you know, I often think of when I'm driving, when I'm driving, I'm seeing stuff. And I'm like, okay, there's a stop sign there. Well, stop. Well, there's a cat crossing the street, then stop. Oh, there's a nice stretch, press on the gas. But it's as I'm moving that it's coming. I'm not like taking the thinking. I'm not like going, okay, there's going to be a stop. There's going to be a stop there in about 100 feet. I have to stop. No, that's not how that works. So now I'm talking about the car. But when I'm in life, it's the same thing. I have a big project right now of moving my dad, and it's kind of like, as much as I wanted it to go a specific way, I cannot foresee how he's going to think. So I can only go with, okay, well, what's going on now and what's the next step? But the decision's been made. He's moving. And I have new thoughts that show up. And then something just shows up in my way that makes me think. Like yesterday, I was talking to the neighbor and I said, I have to sell all of his appliances. And they're like, I want them. And I'm like, what? In my mind, I'm going, oh man, now I have to take pictures. I have to find descriptions. I have to put it online. I have to answer, I had all of that. And I was like, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. And it just like, boom, showed up. And I think that that's what happens when we're in action. Stuff shows up. If we're looking at it, if we're not going,
I do want to talk about this decision filter idea, because it's almost like sometimes people will say to me, I don't know what to do, or I don't know where to start. And it's not because they have bad ideas. In fact, they probably have a lot of really good ideas, and they all seem very cool, very exciting, inspiring. They're dreamers, right? Like, which one do I do? And this idea that there could be some kind of a checklist to go through that would tell you what to do. And sure, there are some questions you can ask yourself that might help with that. But the ruling question for me, the most important one, is, what do you want to do? What do you actually want to do? What lights you up? And there's room for, what do you know to do? Because sometimes you just kind of know to do something. That's where common sense comes in. And that can also be where intuition comes in. And they're all invited to the party. It's like, what just makes sense for you right now? But not make sense in the way of it's masquerading as that voice that talks you out of things is masquerading as practicality and coming in and saying, well, who's going to buy that? Like, no, you don't have the audience for that. That price is too high. It tries to tell you what to do based on what it thinks is going to work instead of what you actually want.
Yeah, it's masquerading. It's masquerading as common sense.
Yes, and it's not actually. But real common sense is invited to the party, because that's wisdom too. But I find most times people are not really in touch fully with what they want. Because what you want, the real thing, the big thing, is often so inspiring that it's sometimes intimidating.
It could also be so simple,
Yeah.
right? Sometimes it's so simple. They're like, no, look, I gotta add meat to it. This is not enough. I mean, just look at what we did, for this workshop. And I'm going to tell the story. So here's the story. The story is, Stephanie's like, Jasmine, let's promote this. And I'm like, okay. And I spent hours, trying to find the perfect picture. Like, what's going to be the perfect picture? Somebody going, yay! Somebody going, oh. So like a lot of papers to show a lot of ideas. Like I went through it all. And what did we wind up with? Let's get the damn thing done. You've thought about it long enough. Let's get the damn thing done. There's something there as well for me, when you said how to make a decision. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Get in action. Take one, get in action. Let's do the damn thing. And then it'll create something else for you. But you're going to be in the energy of creation. You're not going to be in the energy of, right? So it doesn't really matter. Get into it.
It's kind of cool that we're pointing to the same thing and different ways to find it. Different things to notice about. Just do it. It doesn't matter. Do what you actually really want to do. Do what makes sense. Do something. Because it doesn't matter what you do. You're going to find your way in whatever you do through action, through this moment and what you know to do about it right now. That's it.
Yeah, and everything is a living, breathing thing. I mean, I moved into this apartment. It was empty. Oh, I think I need a sofa. Okay, got a sofa. I think I want to put pictures on the wall. Put pictures on the wall. It becomes something. It's the same thing with whatever we want to do. It's going to become something. It might merge, might go into, like, you might start a course and, become a dancer. I don't know. But do you know what I mean? It's a living, breathing thing. And only when you're doing it, because a lot of the times the people I work with, they're like, I want to do this. And then we start getting into what it means, and we start getting into the motions of it. And we're looking at different ways of creating it that people are going to be happy with. Because it's not just about, let's do this and let's suffer through it. It's our business. This is how it's done. This person told me how it's done. No, it's about how are you going to make it happen the way you want it to happen? And is it doing what you thought it was going to do for you? Are you in that energy of, this is so much fun? And then you're going to go through it, and then you're going to create something, then you're going to add, and it's just going to become, something. But it's not going to become that thing if you mull it over for another few weeks. Despite everything we've learned, because you and I took enough classes to know, what people are teaching and we're not saying it's not true. There's some truth, and, but it's not about taking everything that they say to the letter. It's like, what are the bits and pieces that make sense to you in this moment? So how do you make the decision?
Yeah. How do you?
Yeah. How do you decide?
I don't decide. I watch and see what I end up doing.
I decide. You don't decide. I decide.
Yeah. These days, I mean, there's a decision that happens, but I don't feel like I decided it. Do you know, like if I try to decide, I have to make up something in my head, a decision that I need to figure out. I have that feeling sometimes. But what I've learned to do, again, this is for me, right?
Yeah.
Is what if I don't have to decide? And I end up seeing what I do. And this actually came from listening to Marina Galan talk about her experiment in giving up all decisions and what she learned from it. And what she found, and I found this too, is that one of two things will happen. Either at some point, you'll know what to do and you'll do it without thinking, without deciding. You'll just know. Or life will decide for you because you'll be at the point where you actually really have to do something. There's a true this moment choice, and then you'll just do what makes sense in the moment. Either way, you do not have to ever make a decision. It's more like following the movement of what's happening right now. And that's freaking cool. It lets me off the hook. And that's why I say, like, it doesn't matter, because at some point you're going to do something anyway or not. And if you want to, you probably will do it.
I think that at some point there's the knowing, right? We're coming back to we just know.
Or it's just happening. I don't know when I made that decision. I don't feel like I did. There was an example that I had last year. I think it kind of blew my mind because I was like, am I going to this trip in London? Am I going to London? Am I not? Am I doing it? I was back and forth and back and forth, and I just didn't know what I was doing. And I was like, well, if the money shows up for it, I need the cash flow. And then the cash flow showed up, and I wasn't booking the flight. And it was 2 weeks before the trip, 2 weeks before the conference. And I'm like, why am I not buying the tickets? Does that mean I'm not going? And I had a conversation with someone, I'm actually texting with someone, and he said, what if you just see what you end up doing? And something about that switched something on in me. And suddenly I was like, oh, I want to go. I'm going. And within 2 hours, I had my flights booked and I knew where I was staying. And it was amazing. But what was even more interesting is up to the day of, I got very sick. Like I had a stomach bug the day before. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm not going because I'm not going to fly. If I'm feeling like this, I'm not getting on a plane. There's no way. And I didn't know that day for sure that I was leaving, but I acted as if I was. I packed my stuff, but I was like, oh, if I feel like crap, I'm not leaving. I'm going to cancel it. And it was up to the moment where I had to leave for the airport. My suitcase was there, and I was like, okay, I'm going. I didn't know until that moment for sure, until I was walking out the door with my suitcase. And it just really showed me how much overthinking I usually do about getting into action and how much easier it can be if I just do what I know to do when I know to do it. And like you said, it doesn't really matter.
No. No, I mean, I think that in my experience, whenever I've been wanting something and not acting, there was really something in me that didn't want. Like my intellect wanted, I want this. There was a reason for it. I want that because yada yada yada, whatever I made up, right? And yet myself knew. It's like, no, you don't want it. It's not an intellectual thing. It's not an intellectual thing. It's like it's something that you experience. Like it's something within that you just know. And it's not knowing the intellect knowing. It's not the intellectual knowing of, oh, I know this happens like this, like that, you know? It's just in that moment, you know. You can't explain it. It can't be in words. It's just, yeah, no. Or, yeah. How do you explain that? It's hard to put in words, but every single one of us have had this experience. Every single one of us.
So, what do you say we invite some people to come play with us, Jasmine. Come to this get it done and have fun workshop. Why would they want to come join us here?
Well, the energy of creation is so cool. It's so exciting. It's so fun to let yourself go in it. I get the goosies when we're playing in that energy. I don't know about you, but when I'm creating with somebody, because I love co-creating. This is what I do. You know, somebody comes and they have an idea and I'm like, oh, what about this? And then they're like, yes. And we get this thing and we get the goosies on it. I'm like, okay, now I'm getting the chills. And they're like, I'm getting the chills. Like there's like this thing going on around it. It's just fun to, it's free. It's freedom also. Freedom to be. And that's not something we do a lot. Yeah. So it would be fun to have them come and let's create the thing that you want to create that feels fun and that we want to see. Like we want to see it. And then we want to help you put it out there. Why would you invite them?
No, what you said was so good, Jasmine. I think you said it. I think you said it all. What would I add to it if I was going to add something? Come and see what happens when you say yes. When you say yes to the thing that's asking you to create it. When you say yes to the thing that you want. When you say yes to taking action before you feel ready. And just see what happens. And I think if you've been listening to Jasmine, and maybe me too, you get a sense of just how enjoyable that can actually be. That's why.
And if you're thinking, yeah, but I'm going to say it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Like, just let it go. Come play. Let's do the damn thing.
That's it. Let's do the damn thing.